Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Looks like a lot of unity among all of you. Everybody is, wishing together. Good. I'm happy to be here. And today we are going to, talk about a very important subject, which is new product launch. But, over this period of giving lectures, so many lectures, I have noticed one thing, that I have always been allotted the afternoon session, which becomes quite difficult for me because I have to make people wake. And in the last 2 to 3 years, I have started noticing a behavior where people sleep with their eyes open. So I'll try to make this session more interactive so that we are all engaged. And another thing which is quite remarkable is that all these sessions which I have in the afternoon are on a Saturday, which is usually reserved for a movie like Jawan, taking a bike, going to Lonavala. Somebody must have been ready with their bags. Yeah, the meeting khatam hoti aur hum nikalte. But anyways, I'm sure that the next 1.5 hour will keep you glued to this presentation and lecture, because this is something which each one of you is going to encounter as you start the corporate journey. Before we begin, I want to ask one question. Tell me, if there is a company known as Unilever Group,
Yes, sir.
Hindustan Unilever Group, which comes for placement in your institute, how many of you would like to go for the interview? Please raise your hands. Oh, great. And let's also hope there is a company known as Apple which has come for placement. Then how many people will turn out? Still a big number. Suppose there is a company known as True Value Marketing Services which comes up. How many of you will go for the interview? Okay, great. So two hands. Suppose there is a company known as Super Munchies. How many of you will go for an interview? Okay, so no hands up. That is what new brand launches are all about. That is something which I have been doing from last, 15 years, launching new brands. And what is the first challenge which I face? भाई नया ब्रांड में कौन काम करेगा? I want a very respected, reputed company to work with. And I have been doing this, as I said you, from last 15 years consistently, because I find this subject to be quite exciting, interesting, which can change the life of many people. Before moving to the subject, I would also like to tell you, as you have seen my introduction, I am an ex-Hindustan Lever guy. Worked for Levers for about 6 years. And then something interesting happens in my life, where I start thinking, what if I remove the...
यहाँ पे चलेगा क्या? कवर लाएगी ना? ये मेरे को भी चाहिए, देखना टूट गया यहाँ से.
Anjali is probably getting ready for the weekend. Okay. So I've been a Unilever guy, and something happened to me where I thought, what if I knock off the Unilever brand? What Vijay Singh is all about? That is where the entire game changed. And I have been working in developing brands, played a very important role in creating a brand known as Taifu, have been helping many numerous brands to launch their brand in the country. So let's see the screen. Visible? Is the screen visible to everybody?
Yes, sir.
So this is a market space. Okay. If you have to launch a brand in this market space, which every one of you is going to do either today, 1 year down the line, 10 years down the line, you will be encountering this situation. Can I have a volunteer? Anyone? Raise your hand. Thank you. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Be comfortable.
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Mahesh.
Mahesh.
Mahesh, sir.
Okay. Mahesh, tell me, when you go for buying an energy drink, which brand do you buy?
Sting.
If you want to buy an energy drink, which brand you will buy?
Like caffeinated drinks, then Red Bull.
Red Bull. Right. Do you know how many players are there in this industry? If I talk about energy drinks.
Yes, sir. There
How
are
many?
Like,
Name
there is
them.
Monster, then Prime. Prime is one of the electrolyte, but it is also caffeinated beverages.
Okay. Let's stop here. Let's stop here. So you know about 4-5 names.
Yes, sir.
What if I tell you there are about 15 to 20 players in this particular category, and how then they are selling their brand? There are many players. You know only a few. Now imagine one of you is going to work for a company which is going to launch a new brand in an energy drink segment. What do you have to do so that you can beat a Red Bull or a Monster?
Okay.
That is what we are going to discuss in this entire session. So when we talk about brands, each and everyone who is in this presentation today, if you take a booklet and you start writing down the names of the companies or the brands that you know, you will find that the moment you cross the number 15, you will find it difficult to write the name of the brands.
Yes, sir.
Right? But when you go to a shopping complex, of all the many products there are so many products which are new. So many products. So if you write the name of 15 companies, for example, 15 companies are not the entire universe. There are many players in the industry. Okay? So brand launches is something where you are going to create a space for yourself in an existing market space. And you have to be very loud when you do that.
Okay.
So what are we going to expect? You know, what am I going to discuss in this entire session? First is the scope of brand launches, which I want to put forward to you so that you understand how big this subject is. And I'm very happy to the entire management of Asia Pacific Institute that they have given importance to this very important subject, which is basically left unattended in many institutes. if I have to create a structure, this is going to be a 10 to 15 lectures to download you the entire way in which brands are launched. But we have a time constraint and we'll stick to it. And I'm not going to discuss everything because my intention is not to tell you everything which is involved in brand launches. We will discuss a few of the points. और मैं चाहूंगा कि आप लोग सब उन 5-6 पॉइंट में से एक भी अगर आप इंप्लीमेंट कर लेते हो या सीख लेते हो, then I will think that I have done a good job. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we'll do with some exciting case studies also, which will help you in understanding things better. So how relevant is this subject of new product launches? Any idea, any guesses? Okay, let me ask you another question. How many brands are launched in a year? Can anybody give me a number or attempt to give?
Brands can be built, like 4 to 5 brands can be built in a year, but many products can be launched in 1 year.
Okay. Good. Any other? We have to change the face and the microphone. Please
Yes.
pass it to somebody else. I can see there is a lot of women power in this place.
So over 10 to 20,000.
Okay. ठीक है. So according to Images Retail, which is one of the leading retail magazines in the country, about 25 to 30,000 products are launched every year. Now tell me how big this subject is. This subject is huge. Anybody who knows how to launch a brand will always be of vital importance to the market, because this is where all of you are going to be. And as interesting as it may seem, आप लोग भी नए ब्रांड्स हो जो लॉन्च होने वाले हैं 1 या 2 साल के अंदर, राइट? और लॉन्चिंग काफी इंटरेस्टिंग होता है. ओके, काफी सिचुएशंस ऐसे हो जाती हैं जब you do not have an answer for it, but you just have to continue. So one incident I will tell you. It's a real life incident which happened actually. I don't want to quote in particular what happened, but it is a very stressful job. So one of the managers from one of the cities had to do a market visit in another city. So he told to that representative कि मैं कल सुबह आ रहा हूं, मेरा फ्लाइट 10 बजे आएगा, तुम प्लीज एयरपोर्ट आ जाना, वहीं से हम डायरेक्टली मार्केट निकलेंगे. The boss landed 10:30 and he called the executive. फोन बंद था उनका. अब इनका फ्रस्ट्रेशन लेवल बढ़ रहा था. 10 के 11 हो गया, 11 से 12 हो गया, 12 से 1 हो गया. फोन स्विच ऑफ है साहब. आप सोचिए किस फ्रस्ट्रेशन लेवल पे होंगे. फाइनली 1:30 का कॉल आया उनको. And before he could, blast, that other guy, he started a little, थोड़ा, रोना धोना करके बात कर रहा है. He was about 26, 27 years of age. Mind it, मैं रियल बोल रहा हूँ आपको. और मतलब, he was almost like sobbing on the phone. And the boss thought, यार, शायद कोई ट्रेजेडी हुआ होगा घर फैमिली में, तो इसलिए वो रो रहा है. So then the boss asked, क्या हुआ? So he told, sir, 2 साल से रिलेशनशिप पे था, कल ब्रेकअप हो गया। इतना प्यार सर, इतना प्यार, रात को सुबह उठ ही नहीं पाया। So this is a real life example. So when we launch brands, you know, जब हम कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड के अंदर जाते हैं, there is anything possible. And as responsible people for brands, at whatever position you are, you have to remember you are the people who run the business. So there cannot be any kind of lame excuse ki, you know, this is one of the extreme thing which I am telling you, but this was real, it happened. Now put yourself into that person position who is the boss, and imagine that you are going for a launch in a market, and this is the situation which has happened. Okay, so this is the corporate world. The book and the knowledge that we acquire and the experience that we gain when we are in the market are very different. So we have to be mentally prepared. Okay, and when we talk about new launches, be prepared. You don't know what is coming. So what is the launch process now? I would request you not to write because I require your attention here. This session is being recorded. If you want to refer, you can go to this session again. Okay, and if you want to write to me personally, my details are with the management. I am available on the net. Just aap mera naam likho, Vijay Sokhi, you will find me there. I am a very prominent person on LinkedIn. I keep on writing quite frequently. You can catch me there. And if you have any questions, I will attend it in the end. But I would request you not to take down notes, because as you look down, your attention goes a little haywire. Okay? आगे बढ़े हम?
Yes, sir.
कभी भी लॉन्च होता है ना, जैसे आप लोग ने, हम लोग, मतलब दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, मैप करना बहुत जरूरी है. ओके, मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल आउट हियर, उन्होंने अपने दिमाग में एक मैपिंग करके रखी होगी, भाई आफ्टर माय एजुकेशन इज ओवर, these are the 4-5 companies where I want to go. Right? I also had this dream of working for Unilever. तो मेरे को कॉल आया. हाँ, I was so excited. यार यूनिलीवर से कॉल आया मुझे. जब मैं यूनिलीवर ऑफिस के अंदर घुसा, वहां मेला लगा हुआ था. मतलब the position would be hardly 20-30 and about 800-900 people had come for interview. अब तो फिर अब हमको पता था भाई हम तो इतने हैं नहीं. But somehow there where I learned, what I learned there was, when I was of your age, कि in top companies, you know, they do not select people, they reject people. The one who doesn't get rejected is selected. So map, where are you going to work? Okay, that is a personal thing which you are going to do. You are going to map. Then you are going to tap. Means after you have taken a decision, see, I want to work for Unilever, you know that to go there, what kind of intellect you require. So you start working on it and adapt. Means once you have done everything, and you have got a opportunity to be there in the interview, that is where you have to adapt, because you don't know maybe what you have prepared and what is happening may be quite different. Launch, pre-launch is also known as map. Never do any kind of launching without research. आप में से बहुत लोग after gaining 10-15 years of experience, or maybe immediately after your after you have completed your course, would want to start your business or maybe join a new business. Do not do it without doing any research. Research happens in two sides, two ways. One is, you take a AC Nielsen or a PwC, pay them and they will give you a research study. Or else you can conduct research on your own and find where the market potential is. Without research, don't even dare to get inside the market, because brand launches are very risky, very time consuming, and very expensive. So when you look at me, stress is something which I encounter maybe 3-4 days a week, because we don't know what is going to happen. Then you are going to develop a product for it. For example, if you have decided that I want to move into, say, breakfast cereals, you do a research, you find that the market size is about 1,500 to 2,000 crores, and the market leader is Kellogg's, and then there is Mohan, then there is Vagries. You develop a product which has certain USPs to counter competition. And what do you have to do to develop a product? You have to go to a food technologist. Compliance. Most people think my product is ready, I'm going to launch the brand. A very large company which I consulted was importing a certain specific brand in the country, and I insisted them to do not launch until and unless the compliance are done. Okay, so my clients are big people. Handling them becomes quite difficult because they think that with money power anything can happen, but it doesn't go that way. You have to follow the law of the land. And when the product testing was done, it was found that the product which was going to be imported from somewhere in the international market to India had 2 ingredients which were banned in the country. But these 2 ingredients were allowed elsewhere besides the country. So what they had to do, they were saved because they did the compliance and product testing, and they had to delay the launch to make the product as per the law of India. So these things are not to be taken lightly. Everything that you see on the packaging of a brand is something which has got huge legal compliance. If you do not do, you will land into big trouble. Parachute का पैक देखा है आपने? Parachute oil. Yes, everybody uses.
Yes, yes, sir.
More than 80 patents are there on that particular bottle. 80 पेटेंट है उसके अंदर. आप उसका कुछ भी कॉपी नहीं कर सकते हैं. One company tried to do that, and they are non-existent in the market. I will not say the name because I should not. If you do Google and you do research, you will get to know. Branding and packaging. Can I have another volunteer out here? Second bench, center. Second bench. Yes.
Hello. Yes, sir.
To the lady on your left, I think. Yes. You shop?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
You shop? You should be excited. I'm asking you a very relevant question.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, आप एंजॉय करती है शॉपिंग?
Yes, sir.
कैसे करती है आप शॉपिंग?
So maybe online or offline.
Okay, ठीक है. You browse through. Thank you very much. You browse through means जब भी आप किसी स्टोर के अंदर घुसते हैं, आप ये जरूर ध्यान से एक चीज देखिएगा कि you scroll through the aisle and you stop only on those places where you want to stop. अगर आप थम्स अप लेने जा रहे हो, आप कहीं नहीं जाओगे, सिर्फ थम्स अप लेके आओ. So what is branding and packaging? Kotler says it's a 5-second salesman. It has to catch your attention. And most of the people think that किसी से भी branding करवा लो. It doesn't happen like that. Because you are not going to be present in that store forever. Your sales team is not going to be present in that store forever. The product is going to be alone. And if it is not seen, then it will not be sold. We'll talk about strategy, target market, pricing, distribution, demand creation, and budgeting. अब हम सब कवर नहीं कर सकते इसमें, टाइम कॉन्स्टेंट बहुत है. ऑलरेडी वी आर थ्रू विथ हाफ एन आवर. वी हैव half an hour left. Then we have got some time left for question and answers. So we'll only talk about strategy and budgeting, which is very important for all of you. वैसे important तो सब कुछ है, but then these two aspects is something which I will put some stress on. Target market. मार्केटिंग में एक सबसे सिंपल सवाल है. वो सवाल है, हु आर योर टारगेट मार्केट? ओके, काफी आसान सवाल है. राइट. एक वॉलंटियर और चाहिए मुझे, कोई भी जिसकी आवाज थोड़ी ऊपर हो. यस.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Suppose you are launching a baby product which is targeted to babies of 2 to 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Right? Who are your target audience?
Their parents, sir.
Very good. Very nice. There was a brand which I launched. Unka target audience were babies. It should not have been that way. Their target audience should have been parents. Very obvious answer. आपने ओला का नाम सुना है?
Yes, sir.
सबने सुना है ना?
Yes, sir.
बड़े बड़े इंटेलिजेंट ब्रेन थे जिन्होंने ये कंपनी को बनाई थी. They did good, but all this intelligence, they could not understand one thing, that in this business of cab you cannot have customer loyalty, and that is why today they are into a lot of trouble. Big brains था, but small question. कैब के बिजनेस में आपको कस्टमर लॉयल्टी मिलना बहुत कम है. मैं भी बहुत ओला में गया हूं. I went only because of price. Today, Ola is not there, but the driver or the chauffeur who picked me up is still there and is still picking me up. Okay, very easy question. Who are your target audience? But very difficult to answer. और ये आंसर ऐसा है, you cannot go wrong. But the irony is that 9 out of 10 companies practically do not get it right. अभी मैंने आपको ओला का एग्जांपल दिया. क्या कमी थी उसमें? कुछ भी नहीं था ना. सब टॉप ऑफ द ब्रिलियंट ब्रेन सब उधर ही थे. फिर क्यों ऐसा हो गया? राइट. सो दिस इज where you cannot do any exception. How do you define the target market? First, you know which age group you are going to do. Be very specific. अगर आप एनर्जी ड्रिंक बना रहे हैं तो उसका टारगेट ऑडियंस 13 साल से 20 साल तक ही है. उसके आगे बढ़ना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. अगर कोई 20 से 30 साल के उम्र के लोगों को बनाता है तो मे बी ही विल गेट इनटू ट्रबल. राइट. So targeting is very important. If you have created a niche product and you sell it in a mass market, you are gone. Okay, age is important, income group is important. So there are many other things which you have to consider when you talk about target market. Then pricing. ये तो आपने जानते ही है ना सब कोई.
Yes, sir.
Everybody knows it.
Yes, sir.
believe me or not, if I have consulted 7 to 8 companies till now, all these companies, most of these companies have changed their pricing because they met me. Because they were not understanding that when you talk about price, if a product is of 100 rupees MRP, close to 50 to 60 rupees goes to distribution. You are left with 40 rupees only. What will you do in 40 rupees? For example, if the cost of production is 30 rupees, MRP of the product is 100 rupees, distribution margin is say 60 rupees, the company only makes 10 rupees. And in that 10 rupees, he has to run the entire company. Sometimes that 10 rupees is as low as 3 or 4 rupees. Can you make a mistake? Can you make a mistake? You can't make a mistake. Okay? Demand creation, very important aspect of the entire presentation. Look at this chart. Company makes the product, right? It goes to the CFA or the super stockist. From there, it goes to the distributor, who then distributes it to the retailer, who then goes to the customer. Right? Can you see this chart here?
Yes, sir.
Can you see something which is missing in this chart?
Dialogue between retailer and customer.
Right. This is where most of the companies get into trouble. उनको लगता है मैंने स्टॉक बना दिया है, मैंने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को दे दिए हैं, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर ने रिटेलर को दे दिया है, अब कस्टमर आके पिकअप कर ले. ऐसा होता नहीं है, because after the product is placed in the retail, it is the customer who is going to pick the product. Who is going to pick up the product?
Customer.
तो आपका टारगेट क्या है?
Retailer.
कस्टमर आपका टारगेट हो गया ना?
But distribution.
So that is what demand creation science is all about. कि whenever we launch a new brand, you may have everything correct, but if you do not know how to create demand, very soon you will shut down. कितने प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च होते हैं एक साल में?
25 to 30,000.
Out of this 25 to 30,000, only 2% of the companies survive. Rest all shut down. That is the level of risk. But then why are brand launched? If the closure is of such a big number, still brand are launched. Why? Because it is the only way through which you can get growth and you can convert an idea into reality. अगर आपको सक्सेस स्टोरी बनाना है आपका, तो आपको ब्रांड लॉन्च करने पड़ेंगे. आपको इंस्पायर कौन करता है? जैसे इन्फोसिस आज के डेट में आप बोल रहे हैं इतनी बड़ी कंपनी है, व्हाट स्ट्रगल मिस्टर नारायण मूर्ति हैज गॉन इज इमेंस, बट टुडे यू नो इट. So brand launches are important because they create economy, they create employment. एक और इंटरेस्टिंग चीज आपको बताता हूं. यहां पे जितने लोग हैं ना, most of the people out here who are going to be placed in future will probably be joining new divisions of an existing company. मैं जब HLL ज्वाइन कर रहा था, I joined their new division known as the vending business. So most of the reputed companies, when they come for placement, they usually come to hire people for their new business. And that is where the growth is. Because the positive thing with a new business is that the market is very, very vast. And the growth potential is there. Let me try to explain this to you in a different way. मतलब समझो हिंदुस्तान लीवर एक सपोज 40,000 करोड़ की कंपनी है. अब 40,000 करोड़ को 50,000 करना है तो वो काम नहीं कर सकता जो यूजुअली कर रहा है. If he has to add 10,000 additional crore, he has to start a new business because existing market में उतना potential नहीं है. A very close friend of mine was working in a very large company. 2% ग्रोथ के लिए उनको बहुत स्ट्रगल करना पड़ रहा था. क्यों? बोलता विजय हमारा प्रोडक्ट तो हर एक जगह है. मिठाई वाले के पास है, छोटे शॉप्स में है, मॉल्स में है, एयरपोर्ट में है, रेलवेज में है, एयरलाइंस आपका ट्रेन्स में है, तो हर एक जगह है तो ग्रोथ आएगा कैसे? ओके और प्रेशर बहुत होता है. हम लोग क्लासरूम के अंदर एक चीज नहीं सीखते हैं, वो है प्रेशर हैंडल करना. The challenges that we face, when we launch brands, and which you will face, it's a high responsibility job. हम लोग हायरिंग जब करते हैं, हम लोग एक चीज देखते हैं, लड़के कॉन्सिस्टेंट, बच्चे कॉन्सिस्टेंट कितने हैं. What happens is, over the last 5 years, the new recruitments which has happened, it has been noticed when you put them into pressure, they move away. Little do they realize that pressure is something which is going to be there throughout your life. उससे बचने का कोई तरीका ही नहीं है. कुछ लोग सोचते हैं भाई मैं बॉस से बहुत परेशान हो गया, एकदम बहुत तकलीफ है, मैं जॉब छोड़ दूंगा बॉस की वजह से. उसको लगता है बॉस एक बहुत बड़ा रावण है. तो उससे बचने का तरीका क्या है? जॉब बदल दो. राइट?
No, sir.
But the fact is, most of the people do that, and उनको पता नहीं है कि जिस दूसरे कंपनी में वो जा रहे हैं, वो सोच रहे हैं वहां राम है. वहां राम नहीं है, वो पिछले रावण से भयंकर रावण वहां बैठा हुआ है. So the moral of the story is you have to handle pressure. Okay? Whether it is a new brand or an old brand, we are paid for doing that. So customer acquisition you have to keep in mind, and I am going to show you one more slide to how customers are created. ये जो आप देख रहे हैं प्रेजेंटेशन में यहाँ पे, these are all customer engagement programs. Why? Because if you launch a brand and you do not do anything, it will be lost. पता कैसे चलेगा लोगों को? पता तो तभी चलेगा ना जब आप बाहर निकलोगे या बाहर दिखाओगे लोगों को. So towards the left, if you can see, there's a lady at the center left, extreme left. There's a lady standing with a kiosk. Okay, this is known as in-store sampling. आपने बहुत जगह देखा रहेगा ये, right? देखा है आपने?
Yes,
Why do
sir.
they do? So that people can come, touch the product, try the product, and then buy the product. Okay. Then you can see on the, say about in the center, if you see, there are there's a Mogo banner and there's a lady standing, right? So what is happening here? The brands are trying to create some activities where the people come and engage with the brand. जब वो engagement होती है तो recall होता है. Then do you see some ladies on the top who are carrying some bottles of the beverage? What is this? They are sampling the product. Take the product home. Okay? Take the product home. Try it. If you like it, buy it. If you like it, tell others. अब इंटरेस्टिंग पता आपको बताऊं क्या बात होती है? हम तो बहुत एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को मिलते रहते हैं. एक चीज है, हाल ही में मैं किसी को मिला, कहता है विजय जी हमने 10 करोड़ रुपए फैक्ट्री में डाल दिए, लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी बना दी हमने, यू नो, मशीनरी बाहर से लाई है, सब ऑटोमेटेड है, सारे कंप्लायंसेस है हमारे पास. बोला वेरी गुड, वेरी नाइस. तो हमारे साथ डिस्कशन स्टार्ट होता है एंड देन हम उनको पूरा इस डिमांड क्रिएशन के बारे में बताते हैं. उनके एंटायर बजटिंग में ना डिमांड क्रिएशन और कस्टमर का नामो निशान नहीं. और उसको बोलो सर आपने 10 करोड़ इधर डाले हैं तो आप सर 20 करोड़ रखिए कस्टमर क्रिएशन के लिए. बोला सर पैसे तो मैंने सारे डाल दिए. अब वो फंस जाता है बिकॉज इट इज नॉट एट ऑल आसान, इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. Because without creating demands, getting into any kind of business, whether it is established or a new launch, more important in a new launch, it is very dangerous. आप फंस जाओगे और निकलने का कोई रास्ता नहीं होगा, right? So always remember, मैंने चाहे आपको जो भी बात कर लूं आपके साथ, स्ट्रैटेजी आपको खुद की ही बनानी है. हम जो भी बोलते हैं, at the end of the day there is a brainstorming which happens, and after that brainstorming is done, you create your own strategy. Could be anything which is out of the box, right? Out of the box से याद आया, एक बार मुझे लीव रिक्वेस्ट आया था और वो ऐसा लीव रिक्वेस्ट था मैं उसको रिजेक्ट नहीं कर पाया. कहता है सर, डियर सर, आई वांट लीव फॉर 3 days. उसको उसकी अंग्रेजी मतलब ढीली थी. सर आई वांट लीव फॉर 4 days. ही शुड हैव रिटन आई एम फीलिंग नॉट वेल. इंस्टेड ही राइट्स मी, डियर सर, need 4 days leave, feelings not well. So this is something which you cannot reject. Okay, this is a very important slide. This is a make and break for any brand launch. मैंने जैसे कि आपको बताया, brand launches is basically a 15 to 20 lecture minimum which is required to train you, to tell you how launches are done. But this is a model which you can use anywhere throughout your career as you move to the corporate world, or you do your own business, or you lead your own life. Number first is awareness. Any brand, when you launch, the first thing which you have to do is make the people aware. So how do you create awareness? You example ले लो, आप स्टोर के अंदर गए हो, आपने you have purchased a slot where your product are there. You are wearing company branded t-shirts. Okay, you are doing all digital marketing. Okay, so you are creating awareness. Now suppose there is a brand which you have launched and you have put it in a store, say for example DMart, or say DMart, or say Modern Bazaar. आप जब स्टोर के अंदर जाते हो, जब आप ब्रांड को देखते हो, आपको अवेयरनेस आता है. लेकिन इंटरेस्टिंग तब हो जाता है जब उसका आप एक बहुत बढ़िया एक गंडोला बना के रख रहे हैं जो हटके होता है, जब वो हटके होता है तो क्या होता है, कस्टमर को इंटरेस्ट जागता है, अरे दिस इज समथिंग न्यू. You also, when you go to shop, you find whenever you try a new product, you are basically attracted to that particular product which is very interestingly presented to you. Okay? Then what happens? You pick that product from the store. Are we okay here?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So we pick that product from here. Now sometimes what happens, people omit the first two, awareness और interest छोड़ देते हैं. Okay? क्या करते हैं वो? You see this lady out here again on the left with that greenish white. एक कैनोपी में खड़ी है लेफ्ट साइड में. Right? Can you see that? So this is known as wet sampling. What is this called? Wet sampling. So wet sampling जब होता है ना, तो awareness और interest कम हो जाता है, डायरेक्टली अब ट्रायल्स में आ जाता है. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So you have to notice one thing कि awareness, interest and trial, these three things are in the hands of the company. Whether it is Hindustan Lever, whether it is a new brand, whether it is an iconic brand, whatever it may be. Awareness होता है, interest होता है, trials होता है. Means he goes to the store and he picks up the brand. That is where the role of any company ends. उसके बाद फिलिप कोटलर जो कहते हैं ना, कस्टमर इज द किंग, वो आ जाता है एक्शन के ऊपर. कस्टमर ने ब्रांड को घर लेके गया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप मैगी खाते हो, राइट? आप वाई वाई खाते हो. कल एक तीसरा ब्रांड आ गया, आपको उसकी पैकेजिंग अच्छी रखी, आपको उसकी प्राइसिंग अच्छी लगी, तो आपने वो ब्रांड परचेज कर लिया. अब आप उसको घर पे लेके आए, आप क्या करोगे? उसको बना के खाओगे, राइट? जब आप उसको बना के खाओगे, क्या आपको कोई कंट्रोल कर सकता है उधर? क्या आपको कोई इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकता है? कोई नहीं कर सकता, सिर्फ आप ही हो वहां पे. यू आर एंगेजिंग विद द ब्रांड. ओके? वन ऑफ द ब्रांड विच आई लॉन्च्ड, ओके, failed miserably. Why? Because whenever they used to do sampling, it used to sell very well. But once the product was brought back to home by the consumer, they were not able to make the product. वो सोचते थे कि भाई उसने बनाया तो मैंने खाया, इतना अच्छा लगा, लेकिन मैं घर पे आया और मैं बना नहीं पाया. तो हम उस कंपनी को ये समझाते रहेंगे कि आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है वो बीटीएल नहीं एटीएल है. मींस बीटीएल, most of you know, is where we engage with the customer directly. ATL means TV ads, banners, or you do in newspapers, which is a big scale, जिसमें आपको end customer को train करने की जरूरत है. तो although the product was very nice, it could not do well because the customer was not able to make it. Right? इवैल्यूएशन में आपको मैं अगर बहुत आसानी से समझाने की कोशिश करूं, कुछ लोग हैं जो पेप्सी पीते हैं. पेप्सी का एक बेंचमार्क है यहां तक. आपने एक दूसरा कोला ड्रिंक लिया है, कोक नहीं है वो, सोचो कोई दूसरी ब्रांड है. आपने प्रोडक्ट को घर पे लेके आए, आपकी पेप्सी की बेंचमार्किंग ये है. जब आपने उस ब्रांड की बेंचमार्किंग की तो वो बेंचमार्किंग यहां थी. क्या आप उस प्रोडक्ट को खरीदोगे दूसरी बार?
No, sir.
नहीं खरीदोगे, राइट ना?
Yes, sir.
बिकॉज आपकी बेंचमार्किंग तो यहां है, वो प्रोडक्ट यहां कैसे खरीदोगे? वो बेंचमार्किंग मीट ही नहीं कर पाया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बेंचमार्किंग यहां है पेप्सी की और उस कोला ड्रिंक की यहां है एट लेवल. क्या करोगे आप?
कंसिडरेशन रहेगा.
हाँ, substitute.
आप सब्स्टिट्यूट करोगे,
Substitute consideration.
राइट राइट।
Yes, sir.
लेकिन अगर वो नया प्रोडक्ट का बेंचमार्किंग यहां है और पेप्सी का यहां है, तो आप क्या करोगे?
So switch.
आप रिप्लेस कर दोगे उसको। बट अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, इसमें आप कस्टमर के ऊपर कोई भी दबाव नहीं डाल सकते किसी भी प्रकार के, वो डिसाइड करेगा, राइट। एंड लास्टली, जब उसने ये डिजायर डिसाइड कर लिया, तो उसके ब्रांड जो है उसके दिमाग के अंदर रजिस्टर हो गया और उसने इस ब्रांड को अडॉप्ट कर लिया। वो नेक्स्ट टाइम जब स्टोर में जाएगा, वो बोलेगा मुझे ये नया वाला ड्रिंक दो, वो उसके मुंह से वो नाम निकलेगा, राइट। एंड इट द लास्ट टू प्रोसेस which is evaluation and adoption cannot be influenced by any other product, any other marketing technique. And it also holds truth to the fact in marketing, which is said, the product is the, क्या बोलते हैं, the product is the product is the hero. If the product fails, everything is gone. इसलिए जो बहुत इंटेलिजेंट कंपनियां हैं, जो बहुत ही सीरियस कंपनी है न्यू ब्रांड्स के लिए, वो अपने प्रोडक्ट को बहुत अच्छा बनाती हैं। Okay, quickly we'll move. I have a few more slides to be shown. We'll move a little fast because time is less and what we have to cover is very, 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 very vast. Okay, budgeting. Quickly we'll go to budgeting. So budgeting is what? Take everything into cost before launching a brand. कुछ कुछ भैया ऐसे होते हैं कंपनियां, उनको इन्वेस्टमेंट मिल गई है, पहले भैया वो खरीदते हैं ऑफिस, फिर लगाते हैं एसी, फिर खरीदते हैं गाड़ी, और जब तक गाड़ी खरीदते हैं 2 महीना 3 महीना सैलरी दिया, चौथा महीने में इन्वेस्टमेंट खत्म। जरूरी है क्या ये?
No, sir.
नहीं है जरूरी। टारगेटिंग, बिना टारगेट के बजट नहीं बन सकता। टारगेट हमेशा एक एस्टिमेट होता है। यू हैव टू टेक अ टारगेट एंड यू हैव टू गो। टारगेट हो नहीं हो इट्स सेकेंडरी, बट विदाउट टारगेटिंग बजटिंग कैन नॉट हैपन। You have to require a placement plan. Means if you want to put into 100 stores, 100 places you want to launch, and your cost is 10,000 rupees, then 100 into 10,000 rupees is your placement plan. जैसे कि मैंने बताया आपको, placement is not sales. Placement means I have taken a product and I have placed it in a store. Till the time the customer does not purchase it, आपका सेल नहीं हुआ सर। सेल तभी होगा जब कस्टमर खरीदेगा। फिर टारगेटिंग आपको स्लोली बदलनी पड़ेगी, बिकॉज यू विल गेट टू नो द पैटर्न। नेवर डंप द स्टॉक्स टू डू द नंबर्स, otherwise most of the new brands they get into a very very bad shape of expiry and bad debts. आपने सपोज 1 करोड़ का माल डाला, आपने सेल्स दिखाया 1 करोड़ का, आपके प्रोडक्ट का शेल्फ लाइफ 1 साल का है, 1 साल के बाद आपका प्रोडक्ट एक्सपायर हो गया, 80 लाख रुपए का स्टॉक रिटर्न आ गया, आपका नेट सेल क्या हुआ? सिर्फ 20 lakhs हुआ ना। Don't get into this kind of trap. Whenever you work with companies or companies hire you for any kind of new brand launches, and I'm telling you, all of you out here, if you are 50 people out here, close to 40 and 45 people of 40 to 45 people out here will be going into new launches, maybe of an existing company or a new company at all. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Then tap, सारा प्लानिंग हो गया, राइट? अभी आप आगे टैप, मतलब आप मार्केट के अंदर अब घुस गए। आप पीपल लोगे ऑन बोर्ड पे, ओके, राइट? याद है मैंने वो एग्जांपल दिया था ब्रेकअप का?
Yes, sir.
तो आप सोचो कितना बड़ा चैलेंज है मैन पावर का. Whenever you join the corporate world, ladies and gentlemen, I am addressing you as ladies and gentlemen because that is what is going to happen 2 years from now. Please maintain consistency. Do not ever think that 2 साल निकाल लिया बहुत हो गया. आप कंपनी कब छोड़ते हैं? 2 रीजन होते हैं जो मेरे अनुसार है. मैंने आज तक जितनी कंपनियां छोड़ी, आई वॉज इन द बेस्ट ऑफ द पोजिशन, एंड पीपल यूज टू टेल मी कि विजय इतना समय सही चल रहा है, तू छोड़ क्यों रहा है? मैं उनको ये बताता था, भाई जब समय सही होता है तभी आप छोड़ते हो. क्यों? तब आप टाइम आपके साइड में होता है, यू कैन टेक द राइट डिसीजन. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम यू हैव सीन लोगों को पिंक स्लिप दे दिया जाता है, बोला भाई अभी निकल इधर से, तब वो रॉन्ग डिसीजन लेता. राइट? People, whenever you join new brands, please evaluate them well. इंटरव्यू बहुत अच्छी तरह लीजिएगा. मार्केट से क्रॉस वेरिफिकेशन बहुत जरूरी है. मार्केट क्या रिपोर्ट दे रहे हैं पीपल का. एंड once you have got people on board, please do not take reporting easily. You must take a report and you must review that report. Training is a must. Okay? रिटेल लिखा हुआ है, एक्चुअली वो रिटेन होना चाहिए था. इवन इफ द पीपल आर बैड, even if the people are bad, you have to retain them by training them. Because when a brand is launched, the brand is new, but the person who goes to that outlet on a day-to-day basis is a consistent face. The market interfaces with that person. Imagine that person changing every 3 to 4 months. What will happen to the market? They will lose the confidence. वो बोलेगा यार इसके लोग नहीं टिकते हैं, ये कंपनी क्या टिकेगी? Distributor appointment, very critical. Very careful you have to be. Because some retailers are investors. And when you launch a brand, you do not require an investor. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Paperwork has to be very good. There are many distributors who have duped companies of big amount. Big amount. As with the people, so with the distributor. Take the market report. आप लोग सबको मैं बता देता हूं, एक चीज आप नोट कर लो. आपकी जिंदगी का सक्सेस और फेलियर जो है वो यहां है. आपका नेटवर्क, ये फोन नहीं है, नेटवर्किंग डिवाइस है. कितने नेटवर्क है? एक पेन और पेपर लेके लिखिएगा आप कितने लोगों को जानते हैं जो आप जानते हैं. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि आपके मम्मी डैडी या आपके दोस्तों के रेफरेंस से. कितने लोग हैं जो 10 लाख के ऊपर है, 20 लाख के ऊपर है, 10 करोड़ के ऊपर है, 100 करोड़ के ऊपर है. अगर आपके फ्रेंड्स 10 लाख के अंदर है तो आप 10 लाख के सैलरी तक पहुंचोगे. अगर आपको 100 करोड़ रुपए बनाने हैं तो आपको उस सर्कल में रहना पड़ेगा. So how does that happen? That happens through only networking. So be there on LinkedIn and connect with me. Do not change the distributor. Be very careful. These two things are very important. अगर लोग बदलेंगे, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बदलेंगे, मार्केट आपको कभी सीरियसली नहीं लेगा. And the actual launch. So these are a few images for your reference. Okay? ये ब्रांड जो आप कुछ दिख रहे हैं, इसमें कुछ ब्रांड जो है मैंने लॉन्च किए हुए हैं, और कुछ ब्रांड्स ऐसे हैं जिनका इंसेप्शन ही मेरे से हुआ है. लोग यही सोच के आए थे विजय जी ब्रांड लॉन्च करना है, बस इतना ही है. एसओपीज के बिना लॉन्च करना बहुत डेंजरस है. अगर आपके पास सिस्टम नहीं है और आप लॉन्च कर रहे हो, आपको 6 महीने बाद पता चलेगा कि भाई 1 करोड़ रुपए लॉस हो गए. Some channel dynamics which you have to know. One is general trade, which everybody knows. These are the mom and pop store, about 12 lakh stores in the country. We've got modern trade, which you all know. Okay, the dynamics of modern trade and general trade are completely different. If you hire a person who knows modern trade and you tell him to do general trade, he may probably not be able to do it because दोनों के dynamics काफी अलग है. Then there is alternate channel for every brand launch that you do. आप कभी भी किसी कंपनी पे ज्वाइन करते हैं और आपको सक्सेस दिखाना है उस कंपनी में, आपको alternate channel, मैं इसको कहता हूं pillar of business. You have to create clear pillars because brand launches take time. मैंने टाइफू एक ब्रांड क्रिएट किया था. आप if you want, go to Google, go to LinkedIn and read my success story on Taifu. When I created this brand Taifu, with the management help, I was able to create one pillar known as gifting channel. वो exist ही नहीं करता था. And that was the pillar on which the entire company was formed. I worked for that company for 6 years. It has been about 10, 12 years I have left that company. That company is doing very well and they still remember me. This is your airport concession points. This is your standalone stores. बोलते हैं ना company stone. Okay. Wellness Forever, you have seen. This is known as small modern trade, and this is another big channel which most of the people do not know. This is known as CSD or CPC canteens. ये सारे चैनल्स इतने बड़े हैं कि बड़े बड़े MNC कंपनीज इन स्पेसिफिक चैनल्स के लिए अलग टीम बना के रखते हैं और हमको इन चैनल्स के बारे में पता ही नहीं. Okay, so what you would be seeing that in this presentation, I am talking to you about book knowledge also and something which is related to the market. It is very important for you to know. Okay, because हम जब लीवर, when I was मतलब जब मैं लीवर ज्वाइन किया, I believe it was 23rd of June 2003, I think maybe, and my boss called me and said me, विजय जाके क्लोजिंग करके आओ. अब मेरे को पता भी नहीं क्लोजिंग क्या है, पता भी नहीं क्लोजिंग. I have heard the word for the first time in my life. And on the 28th, I received a call, मतलब 5 days after joining, which the target was 40 lakhs. We are there only at 30 lakhs. 10 lakh more has to be done. Please talk to the distributors and start getting orders. Okay. Digital marketing बहुत सेपरेट चैनल है, अनदर लेक्चर की जरूरत है, हम डिस्कस नहीं करेंगे. मैं सिर्फ इतना कहूंगा आपको, डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में आप कब पैसा लॉस करेंगे आपको समझ ही नहीं आएगा. काफी सोच समझ के करिएगा ये काम, काफी सोच समझ के, क्योंकि एक Amazon फुलफिलमेंट फीस होता है जो स्टॉक मार्केट की तरह ऊपर नीचे जाता है. अगर आपने अपने कॉस्ट को कंट्रोल नहीं किया और अपने प्राइसिंग को समझ के नहीं रखा, कब लॉस हो जाएगा समझ नहीं आएगा. आपको, लोगों को लगता है कि भाई बहुत बड़ा बिजनेस है, बहुत पैसा बना लेंगे. सर ऐसा नहीं होता है, बिकॉज टू मेक दिस ब्रांड्स इन डिजिटल मार्केटिंग यू रिक्वायर लॉट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट. अडेप्ट, आई टोल्ड यू ना, मैप, टैप एंड अडेप्ट. अब प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च हो गया है, प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में 6 महीने तक पहुंच चुका है. आगे क्या होगा? Why do you have to adapt? Number one, do you think old players will just keep on watching at you?
No, sir.
नहीं ना, वो कुछ ना कुछ तो करेगा ना.
Yes, sir.
तो आपने जो भी प्लान बनाया है उसका क्या होगा? इन्वेस्टर तो बोलेगा रिटर्न चाहिए मुझे भैया. सडन सर्ज ऑफ कंपटीशन. 2 लोग थे आप लोगों ने, सपोज देयर वर 2 players. You came with a USP and you became the 3rd player. Another 4th player entered with a better brand. प्रोडक्ट एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं हो रहा है. आपके हिसाब से बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन मार्केट में एक्सेप्टेड ही नहीं है. क्या करोगे आप? ये बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कोई ले ही नहीं रहा है. प्रॉब्लम आया, जॉब छोड़ो, दूसरा कंपनी में जाओ। एंड फंडिंग, दिस इज आज की दिस इज टुडेज वर्ल्ड। भाई पैसे खत्म हो गए, फंडिंग नहीं आ रही है, क्या करें हम? ओके, therefore long term vision is required. Cost will play a critical role, which I have already explained you in budgeting. Soft launch, test launch is very highly recommended. Please do not shoot in the dark. There is nothing known as stability. You just have to keep on building the brand. एक चीज याद रखिए, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to the market, it is highly volatile, unstable. कहते हैं सक्सेस को क्रिएट करना पड़ता है साहब, तो उसका कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं है। अगर आप 50 लोगों को मिलेंगे, 50 लोग आपको 50 फॉर्मूला बताएंगे, और हर एक आदमी ने अपना फॉर्मूला ही डिवाइस किया हुआ है। Therefore, re-strategize. Okay, so we'll take another 2-3 minutes and we'll wrap up. Launch is not the business of the week. भैया, अगर आपका दिल कमजोर है, ब्रांड लॉन्चेस मत करिएगा। It is very difficult. It is what comes your way, you don't know. People get into legal entanglement. People get into so much of investment that they cannot come out. And sometimes people become so impatient कि इतना कुछ करने के बाद भी नहीं हो रहा है. And then there is one standard answer: something is wrong. किसी को ये भी नहीं पता क्या है, right? So always have an expert. I have been doing this from last 15 years. That's for whenever my clients get stuck, I know what I have to do. अभी एक client है मेरा, I won't name them. Their business since November last year till date was static. And everybody was telling me, why is it static? I told the management, it is because of one decision which you took. And what was it? Do not increase distribution. अगर तुमने डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इंक्रीज ही नहीं किया तो बिजनेस बढ़ ही नहीं सकता। आप इसलिए स्टैटिक हो, बट उससे भी एक एनालिसिस मिलती है। नवंबर से लेके अभी तक अगर आपका बिजनेस स्टैटिक है, मतलब आपके कस्टमर फिक्स्ड है, आपके प्रोडक्ट में दम है। अगर वो सेल स्टैटिक नहीं होता, वो गिर जाता, इसका मतलब प्रोडक्ट में प्रॉब्लम है। तो प्रोडक्ट में प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है साहब, तो क्या करना है आपको? यू हैव टू कीप ऑन एडिंग। Every brand will have a challenging time. Okay, I have been a part of 8 to 10 brand launches. Every time there is a challenge, different kind of challenge. Okay, and the worst challenge of all is corporate politics. If it is your brand, you have to protect your idea. जिस कंपनी के लिए काम कर रहे हो, उस कंपनी के लिए उसका जो आइडिया है उसको प्रोटेक्ट करिए आप। अगर गलती हो गई है उसको सुधारा जा सकता है, इसलिए ज्यादा स्प्रेड मत करिए, स्लोली स्टार्ट करिए, रिटेन करिए जो टैलेंटेड लोग हैं, उनको डेवलप करिए। रीजन टू बिलीव इज द लोएस्ट। जब चैलेंजिंग टाइम आता है ना, आपको भरोसा आपका टूट जाता है, आपको भरोसा दिलाना पड़ता है लोगों को। देयरफॉर यू हैव टू कीप ऑन बिल्डिंग ट्रस्ट एट ऑल लेवल. Hang on. Sometimes when you're in the flood, the only thing which you have to do is keep your head out and breathe. जिंदा रहो, पानी जब नीचे आएगा तब लड़ लेना। Tough time don't last, tough people do. Scale up. This is not the subject today, because when a brand is launched and brand is doing well, then it is the time to take the brand forward. नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च में सबसे ज्यादा काम कौन करता है? लोगों को लगता है भैया मैंने टीम ले ली है, अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट है, मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट है, मुझे काम करने की जरूरत नहीं है। This is me with the founders in a in Dubai for an Gulf food exhibition. This is with one of the founders known as for a brand known as Artisna. And this is with True Value Marketing. These are 3 of my very big clients with whom I work, and out of which Super Munchies is on the way to become a big brand. Granules and Beans is doing phenomenal. So who works most? You have to work for it. जो सबसे पहला एम्प्लॉय है कंपनी का वो उसका फाउंडर है, उसको सबसे ज्यादा काम करना पड़ता है. फाउंडर ये सोच ले कि भैया मैंने हायरिंग कर ली है, सब हो जाएगा, तो कुछ नहीं होता, आपको खुद ही करना पड़ता है सब. ओके, सो this is what I would like to talk on today. So the importance of brand launch before I end up the presentation, the entire lecture. देखिए, इंडस्ट्री में लोग मुझे लीवर्स के लिए तो रिकॉग्नाइज करते हैं, बट एक टाइफू के लिए मेरा रिकॉग्निशन बहुत ज्यादा है. जब I left levers and I joined Taifu, I was their 5th employee. 5th. एंड हिंदुस्तान लीवर में करोड़ों का टर्नओवर हैंडल करता था. अचानक मैं जीरो में आ गया. वो एक मेरे लिए कल्चरल शॉक था. वो जीरो से उस ब्रांड को एक लेवल तक लेके जाना विद इन अ स्पैन ऑफ 6 years क्रिएटेड सम रिस्पेक्ट फॉर मी इन द इंडस्ट्री कि भाई ही नोज हाउ टू बिल्ड अप द ब्रांड. एंड आई एम फैसिनेटेड बाय ब्रांड लॉन्चेस. I am fascinated by taking risks. The returns are also very high, and so is the risk. But if you have to make a name for yourself, आप एक चीज हमेशा याद रखिएगा before I end this presentation. Hindustan Lever is not a big brand. Gillette is not a big brand. Tata is not a big brand. Birla is not a big brand. The biggest brand in the world is you. It is you. And the irony is that we do not work for ourselves. If you become a brand, then people will be after you. And as with all the other respected brands, building brands take time. Therefore, launch yourself now. और भूलिएगा मत, ये एक बहुत बड़ा फिलॉसफी है. ठीक है, लोगों को लगता है कि भाई बॉस है, बॉस को बोल दिया कि सर आज सिक लीव. क्यों? मेरे को एक ऐसी बीमारी है जिसका आज तक इलाज ही नहीं निकला. कौन सा बीमारी सर? स्टमक पेन. बिलीव मी, स्टमक पेन का कोई इलाज नहीं है. द ओनली इलाज इज रेस्ट. ओके, सो व्हाट हैपेंस, हम लोगों को लगता है कि भाई हमारे सामने वाले बॉस को हमने झूठ बोल दिया तो चलेगा. लेकिन आपको एक चीज याद रखना है कि बॉस जो सामने है वो तो है ही, लेकिन हमारे ऊपर भी एक बॉस है जो दिखता नहीं है, बट सारा अकाउंटिंग उसके पास है. एंड इट इज अ प्रूवन फैक्ट. अबाउट 47, 46 इज माई एज टिल नाउ. 20 years of brand launches. इट इज अ फैक्ट. बुरा करोगे तो बुरा होगा ही, वो बच नहीं सकते आप. इसलिए मत करिए बुरा, सही तरीका से काम करिए. सक्सेस आने में वक्त लगेगा, लेकिन आएगा जरूर. Sorry if I have been too heavy on you. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I am a management guru, so management question ही पूछेगा. I am not a love guru, so if you have any love issues, don't ask me. I don't have any solutions.
So you have been into the startup industry. So the biggest problem for the startup industry is to start a product and to innovate new products. Sometimes I'm that type of person who can create a market, but I'm not an innovator. So you are also in that type of things, I think so. So how you just manage that thing? How you do the statistics about that market?
यार, can you be a little, थोड़ा बहुत मिस हो गया लास्ट में.
Yes, like you are into the statistic markets and how you manage that markets, how you keep tab on that markets.
Good. I believe in reviews. I review everybody, I review everyone,
Okay.
and I have a strict regime of targeting. I believe in targets, and I it is my command. I would rather say command with respect to all of you. Work with targets, not only for a product launch, but for anything that you do. अगर आपको लाइफ में 40 years तक 1 करोड़ रुपए कमाने हैं तो उससे आप काम करो. So brand launches may be to make people responsible. I have to keep on reviewing people. So I have certain formats which I have devised, certain SOPs which I have devised, and I keep on reviewing them. अगर कहीं पे भी कुछ गैप नजर आती है तो we do a little bit of beating, because sometimes you have to be good, but fear जो है ना, fear at times it works wonder. It works wonder. So I use that combination. मतलब कि वो हुआ fear, मतलब कि मतलब अगर ब्रेकअप हुआ तो मेरे पास दूसरा ऑप्शन है, याद रखना.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So as you said that the product is a hero, but sometimes we only buy because of the brand. Like we buy the certain particular product because of the brand. Like for example, Tata. We go to Tata because we have a sense of trust in them. Irrespective if the product like comes out faulty or like it's not to that particular level. But also there is a cannibalization in the market. For example, if you are into FMCG and you launch as a product which is in the same product line that you have already into existence. So how do you save your newly launched product from the cannibalization from your own products? Like which happened with the Coca-Cola. Like it has so many, uh, like Coca-Cola, it has so many other products also. So,
Okay,
but we
good.
prefer the
Good.
original.
मैं थोड़ा बहुत समझ पाया हूँ आपका क्वेश्चन. I'll try, attempt to answer it. So you are actually talking about brand cannibalization, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा. Since you have used the word Reliance, sorry, Tata, I will ask a certain question. ना? अगर मैं आपको 5 ब्रांड का नाम बताता हूँ, कैन somebody write it down? टाटा, लिख लिया? बिरला, महिंद्रा, गूगल, रिलायंस. लिख लिया आपने?
Yes, sir.
ओके. अभी उसके नीचे आप लिखो लॉयल, ट्रस्टवर्दी, सॉलिड, एथिकल, कांट से.
Can't fake.
कांट से.
Can't say.
कांट से मतलब मैं बोल नहीं सकता क्या है, मतलब आई डोंट नो. जब पहला ब्रांड क्या लिखा आपने?
Tata.
टाटा से आपको क्या इमोशन आता है? सॉलिड आता है, ट्रस्टवर्दी आता है, एथिक्स आता है, क्या आता है?
Loyalty and ethics. Loyal and ethics. Loyalty.
Which emotion? So we can take trustworthy. Tata means trustworthy.
Yes, sir. There are so many
Okay.
domains for particular Tata.
Okay. Next brand, what did you write?
Birla.
What do you think is the emotion?
Loyal.
देखो मेरे हिसाब से टाटा इज अ ट्रस्टवर्थी एथिकल कंपनी.
Yes, sir.
महिंद्रा इज अ सॉलिड कंपनी.
Yes.
कभी भी आप कुछ बोलोगे वो रिजॉल्व करके देंगे आप, राइट? गूगल आप बोलेंगे काफी अपॉर्चुनिटी लेड कंपनी है, सॉलिड कंपनी है, राइट? जब हम रिलायंस की बात करते हैं ना, रिलायंस की जब हम बात करते हैं, आपके अंदर क्या इमोशन आता है?
Can't say.
आप समझ रहे हैं? आपने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा है ना, ब्रांड जो है ना,
Yes, sir.
see, Reliance is a very, I would say, it's a solid company, but somewhere down the line we have this can't say wala attitude also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is brand? कहाँ डेवलपमेंट की जरूरत है? इस लाइन पे डेवलपमेंट की जरूरत है, right? Because that is where the development is required. Now coming to your question, okay,
Yes, sir.
brand cannibalization is a part of the industry. You cannot do away with it. पेप्सी और कोक में क्या हो रहा है? इफ यू सी द मार्केट इज रनिंग अवे फ्रॉम कोला ड्रिंक, ओके, टू नॉन कोला ड्रिंक. तो वो लोग ने मिनट मेड लॉन्च किया, उन्होंने बहुत प्रोडक्ट्स ऐसे लॉन्च किए जो कोला ड्रिंक में है ही नहीं. Why it is like that? It is because they have realized in future the cola drinks are going to not sell that much. So in that case, what has happened? They are willingly allowing that cannibalization to happen. One. Number two, new product launches, when they do, you do a market mapping because it should not conflict with the existing market. For example, अभी टाटा का नमक है, राइट? तो अभी टाटा ने नया लॉन्च क्या किया है? टाटा ने स्पाइसेस लॉन्च कर दिए, कैटेगरी वो दूसरे कैटेगरी में घुस गया है. ओके, सो whenever they launch a brand, there is some amount of cannibalization which happens. But if you do a category introduction, जैसे कि टाटा पहले सिर्फ चाय बनाता था, ब्लैक टी, अभी वो ग्रीन टी बनाता है, राइट? दोनों डिफरेंट सेगमेंट है, कैनिबलाइजेशन का चांस ही नहीं है. लेकिन अगर टाटा अग्नि बनाता है, टाटा ताजा बनाता है, टाटा का और एक क्या कहते हैं, चाय का ब्रांड बना देता है, तो कैनिबलाइजेशन होने का चांस ज्यादा है. बट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर वन थिंग, the target market for Agni and the target market for Taza are completely different. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
brand cannibalization does happen in the market, where a better brand of the same company replaces a brand which is not better. Sometimes people do it intentionally, sometimes the market itself does the cannibalization. So the answer is yes, it does happen, but you have to be very calculative about it, because एक चीज और आपको ध्यान रखना है, ब्रांड्स जो भी नए ब्रांड्स हैं, जो भी सॉलिड ब्रांड्स हैं, पुराने ब्रांड्स हैं, वो नए प्रोडक्ट क्यों लॉन्च करते हैं? वो नया प्रोडक्ट, वन ऑफ द रीजन बिकॉज ऑफ विच दे लॉन्च इट इज दे वांट टू क्रिएट दैट एक्साइटमेंट, दैट बज इन द माइंड ऑफ द कस्टमर. वरना कस्टमर भूल जाएगा ये क्या एक ही प्रोडक्ट लेके आया. जैसे रेडबुल जब लॉन्च हुआ था उसका एक ही फ्लेवर था, आज रेडबुल के 4 फ्लेवर आ गए जी, राइट? सो अनदर वर्ड टू इट इज यू डू प्रोडक्ट एक्सटेंशन करते रहते हैं. So that is a big subject. Product extension will not discuss much.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is that what specific technologies were integrated into the new product?
What?
What specific technologies were integrated into the new product?
That is a question, my friend, which I will not be able to answer because that is not my domain. But in my service, what we do, we have food technologists. आप जो भी यहाँ पे बैठे हैं, जो भी ये सुन रहे हैं लेक्चर, एक चीज याद रखिए, हर एक चीज का अलग अलग एक्सपर्ट होता है. फूड टेक्नोलॉजी एक कंप्लीटली केमिकल साइंस स्टडी है. तो when you want to launch a new brand, na, you have to go to a food technologist who will give you that technology. Okay, they are food creators. उसको बोलते हैं. So you have to reach them out. They will tell you. From my side, I can, when you get the product ready, okay, when you get the product ready based on your market study, then we can give a feedback whether this will fit the market or not. Ask.
Excuse me, sir. One more question. Sir, as you said, you are in the food sector. What are your point of view on nutraceuticals? Like the new growing market in nutraceuticals that are more dietary fibers, the good healthy
So
diet.
what is my take on nutraceuticals, right?
Nutraceuticals.
Nutraceuticals.
Yes, sir.
Big scope is there in the market.
Yes, sir. But what are the type of like what type of products are more oftenly used in today's market?
See, that is again, you are asking me a question which is specific to a particular.
Sir, I thought it was related to the food sector. That's why I asked this question. Uh, like
See,
there
nutrition.
are
I have to do a study on that particular segment to understand more. But
sure.
the people whom I know in the industry who are into this business, they tell me the kind of growth that these people are getting in the nutraceutical segment is quite high. Why? Because there is a big segment which is now becoming, वो खुद को डॉक्टर समझने लगे हैं अभी.
Yes.
तो वो खुद को डॉक्टर समझने लगे हैं, तो उनको ये समझ में आ गया कि भाई कुछ चीजें हैं जो मैं खुद ही कर सकता हूं. आई डोंट हैव टू गो टू अ डॉक्टर. And these are all, when we talk about nutraceuticals, this becomes those products which are, which do not have any legal, मतलब उनको कोई डॉक्टर का recommendation की जरूरत नहीं है.
Recommendation की जरूरत नहीं है.
Right.
It is.
So myself, I too take a product known as Neurobian Fort. And mostly after the age of 40, people do take nutraceuticals because there is a deficiency which we have.
Yes, sir.
So potential बहुत ज्यादा है. ब्रांड लॉयल्टी बहुत कम है. आई थिंक कुछ एमवे का हर्बल लाइफ कुछ आता है. आई थिंक समथिंग लाइक दैट.
Our life is into the more
Yes,
in
yes.
the sector.
So there are only a few brands which have a good monopoly. Some brands are being launched on the online platform to capture the market. And in the last 1 and 2 years, there is a traction which has happened because when we keep on visiting the market, ना कुछ नया देखने को मिलता है हमको. So we have seen, a company like Baidnath
Yeah.
coming up with a brand known as Kapiva,
Kapiva. Yes, sir.
which is into this segment only.
These are the
And
new
I too, matlab, the thing is कि there's a brand known as Vestige. Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
वो भी इसमें है. So basically, people are using that MLM marketing fundamental to get into the market. But if you ask me one question, कि Vijay sir, do you have an idea of how big the potential is? I can only tell you that there is a big potential and there is a potential of building up a brand because इसमें brand बहुत limited है.
Okay, sir. So the innovation in this product line can be good in startups.
हाँ.
Create a product line in this culture, like in nutraceutical markets, will be the good market to launch
It will,
something.
yes, it will be a good market and a lot of work has to be done on branding per se.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyone, any other question? Uh, I would like to say that it was an overall very wonderful session indeed. Despite of so much of knowledge sharing, information sharing, and being an insightful session, it was also a session in which the audience were all attentive, listening to everything, even the examples they were remembering when you ask it again. So I would like to thank you, sir, for taking out your precious time from your busy schedule and giving our students this insightful session on the particular topic and also giving them more of a examples, practical knowledge more of rather than theoretical, with which they were being involved in whatever they were listening. From the side of Asia Pacific, I would like to felicitate you. This is award of honor for you. I would just like to read it. The Board of Governors express heartfelt appreciation for your exceptional contribution and the immeasurable impact you have had on our institution. May it serve as a token of our gratitude, reminding of the profound admiration and respect we hold for you. With this, I would also like to I'm hopeful that whenever you get time and we could have any other session with you, you will support our student with that. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like I have managed to keep you awake for this 2 hours.
Yes, definitely they all were awake, and moreover, they were listening very attentively. I think they are not that attentive even in the post-lunch session, which is physically faculties are there. So it was an interesting session for us also.
Yeah. Before we end this entire session, there are certain things I would like to tell you. Okay. Number one is, uh, brand launches is something you must take seriously. Okay. A lot of potential is there, and a lot of success is, related to this. जैसे जब आईफोन लॉन्च हुआ था, उसके पहले स्टीव जॉब बहुत कम लोग जानते थे, बट उसने नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया तो आइकॉन बन गया वो, राइट? बिल गेट्स ने जब माइक्रोसॉफ्ट बनाया कोई सोच भी नहीं सकता था. द अमाउंट ऑफ स्ट्रगल विच ही हैज गॉन इज like humongous. Okay, so one is that. Second thing is, my email ID I have put in the chat now. If you have any questions, you can write to me directly and I can respond to that. Okay. Thirdly, I would like to recommend, since you are going to enter into the corporate world very soon, it was a part of my presentation, but I forgot to mention, there's a book known as Peopleonomics. आप जरूर पढ़िएगा उस किताब को. It will give you insight as to, when you enter an organization, okay, at what level you are entering. Peopleonomics, Peoplonomics, Peopleonomics. Okay, वो आपको बहुत important help करेगा. And the pillar in which my entire career has been developed is one book, okay, which you are reading, which I have also read in my tenure. So that is Principles of Marketing by Mr. Kotler. Half of my people say that यार book knowledge is not required, ये तो किसी काम का नहीं होता है. But my success, wherever I am today, I give a lot of credit to Mr. Kotler, because the book he has been this book I have read it 4 times till now. I read it every 5 years, and every time I read it I become a better person. तो आप उस book को कभी भी lightly मत लीजिए. And thank you so much, guys, and thank you to the entire management for getting me here. And future is all about expert. जो जितना जल्दी चालू करेगा वो उतना जल्दी वहां पहुंचेगा. Okay. It has been quite tough for me because I was in Goa for about 3 days. I just came back yesterday, and today there was a line of meeting. I finished that. I ensured we meet, and again tomorrow I'm flying to Delhi for another 3 days. So honestly speaking, I did not get much time to prepare for it. But since this is something which I do on a day-to-day basis, I was able to at least do some justice to you. And that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shweta, and who all are there in the presentation today.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We would like to end the meeting, sir.
So can we sign out?
Yes, sir, we can.
Happy weekend, guys. Enjoy.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much, sir. ये अपने तीनों के attendance बाकी है.